Duelist of the Autumn Crown by Drakey C. Chapter 9. The Fires of Friendship. Sitting on the stairs, just inside one of the doors of Caroline High, Twilight's deck was laid out on the landing, her cards organized into types and copies. In her hands, she looked down at the 6 new cards she had pulled from her duel disc, where the extra deck would go. I didn't know I had these cards before. I would have used them if I did. Twilight looked over her deck carefully before, and now there were new cards in it. She reached down into her main deck and picked up one of them. Harmony Fusion. A spell card to let me summon fusion monsters. Twilight looked back at the 6 fusion cards in her hands. Where did these come from? Spike, you were watching. What happened? Sitting at her feet, Spike shook his head. I don't know, Twilight. You went into kind of a trance. Your eyes glowed purple. You just kind of sort of created that card for nothing. Right. Twilight picked up the card and questioned. Anista Silva. I did the same thing when I dueled Verity and played Harmony Castle. I don't remember having that card either. What do you think it means? Spike hopped up on the stairs and walked around Twilight's cards. I don't know, but I'm certain it has to do with the rules of magic in this world. Sunset Shimmer said that magical objects in this world obey the strongest duelists. So, maybe whatever magic I have inside of me awakens when I'm in danger to save me by creating powerful new cards. She frowned. Which, if that's untrue, is unfortunate because I don't know how to control it. I have to mention, it's a little more than a little unfair to opponents, though I suppose that's beside the point. So what do we do? Twilight folded her confusing cards up and slid them into her duel disc. I have to try and master this magic of mine. Sims and Snails were definitely influenced by some sort of dark magic, and I know Sunset's to blame for it. If we duel her, she has access to that magic, and we can manipulate her deck. We need to know how to match it. Twilight sighed and looked down at Spike. What was I like in that state? Spike thought, your eyes were glowing purple, you got really serious. But not mean, just really confident and direct. His face brightened. You know that feeling when you just know you're going to win the game, and you're making a play to make it happen? You talked kind of like that. Well, not really. I don't know the feeling. But I'll take your word for it. Twilight smiled and ruffled his hair. She stood up and stretched. We'll have to try and figure it out tonight. We have to have everything before the finals tomorrow. For now, we have an hour to go clinch any last few wins. She looked at the doors back outside and took a breath. It's time to duel! Twilight flipped her card in her hand to show it. I activate Harmony Fusion! I use this card's effect to fuse Harmony Spirit Recius and Harmony Spirit Piatus from my hand! Twilight held her arm up as a swirling vortex appeared in the air behind her. A pale blue fairy with blue gloves and boots descended from it. A lightning bolt ran up her clothing, and a synchro storm cloud hovered in the air behind her. Lightning crackling to the center. I fuse and summon Harmony Spirit Piatus Fullman! Attack points 2300, defense points 1500. Then, I activate the effect of Harmony Spirit Magia. Discard to copy the string card from your graveyard, targeting Victory Viper XXO3! His attack power is half for the rest of the turn. Twilight's opponent, a dark-skinned boy with red hair and a helicopter hat, tense as the silent silver spaceship in front of him glowed and grew smaller. Oh no! During the turn, I discard a Harmony Spear from my hand. Piantus Fullman is able to attack all monsters you control at once. Twilight smiled. So, not only can I attack your Victory Viper, I can also attack all your other ships as well. Twilight held her hand out to point out the monsters in turn. Piantus Fullman, attack Victory Viper, J-Knight, Gradius, and Delta Tri! Piantus Fullman held up her hands. Jolts of lightning came from the cloud behind her to form crackling orbs of energy. Mom! Twilight's opponent cried out as the lightning orbs shot across the field. You people out there in the audience know what's funny about Button Mask getting beaten like this, right? You do remember that Button Mask is the voice of Jade and Yuki and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Bridged, right? I activate the effect of Harmony Spirit Grecia to discard it and prevent my Harmony Spirit Magnifium Crystallum from being destroyed this turn. Twilight's field. A fairy in a pale blue dress, gloves, and boots lit up in a green light. Attack points 2100. Defense points 1500. Discarding Grecia activates the effect of Harmony Castle, letting me revive Grecia. Then, the effect of magnetic crystal lets me look at the top 2 cards on my deck and add one of them to my hand. Twilight picked up her cards and held one of them out. I add Hardy's Vampiatus to my hand and then discard, activating its effect. Magnetic crystal can bypass your elemental heroes and attack directly this turn. Magnetic crystal held its hands forward. Twin rings of gemstones encircling its torso across either shoulder to begin spin around. Across the field, a purple-skinned girl with green hair grimaced. Not good! A flurry of gemstones shot out from the rings, and the girl's superheroes pulled out of the way as they bombarded her. 15 minutes, Twilight whispered. The clock in front of CHS edged closer to the tournament's end. She looked at her dual disc display. 10 wins, no losses. This is the best I can do. I don't think I have time for another duel. Twilight heard whispering, raised her head to see 2 students passing quickly, turned their heads away. She scrunched her face. I guess I'm getting a sort of reputation here. Not sure if that's good or bad. Think we're okay to get into the finals? Spike asked. Twilight nodded. I think so. We've been doing pretty well all day. She looked at her dual disc and gave a small smile. You know, I have to admit, I'm starting to have fun with this. I mean, yeah, of course we need to stop Sunset Shimmer, but once you get the hang of it, the game's pretty cool. Cool? Spike sorry. I didn't think you knew that word. Pounding and crossing her arms, Twilight said, and why wouldn't I? It is. It's strategic. Keeps you on your toes. There's all kinds of different cards you can use. She held up her dual disc and smiled. I'm just getting the idea now why this game is so popular in this world. It's fun. That's not a promo for Duel Monsters. I'm on Twilight's side all about this. But, Konami, if you want a sponsorship with me. Well. Twilight paused in a familiar voice. She noticed the students moving and turned to see why. Clearing had formed into crowds. 2 very familiar faces were standing on either end. Applejack crossed her arms and smirked. So, Lil Daisy's here again. Planning to make it to the finals so I can whoop you again? Reba Dash snorted. No, I'm gonna whip you in the semifinals and beat Sunset in the finals. You're small fry compared to her. You keep telling yourself that, huh? Keep the dream alive and all. Oh yeah? Reba held up her arm and activated her dual disc. Sure, cheek! Let's settle it right here, you smug hick! I don't need to wait until the finals to beat you. Let right. Applejack activated her own dual disc, colored red and green. Sure, cheek! Well, there's 15 minutes left. I reckon there's enough time to win and still go get a drink before they announce the standings. Twilight grated her teeth and pushed the students in front of her out of the way to the clearing. What do you 2 think you're doing? Pulling this shelf back in her place, Applejack replied. That's my line, you yokel! Enough! Twilight looked between the 2 of them, eyes narrowed. You 2 used to be friends with each other. Now you're insulting each other like you hate each other? There's no room for mercy in this tournament, Reba Dash snorted. If you want bleeding heart, go find Barry or something. I'm here to win. Same here. Applejack covered her hand over her drill disc. Now, we're gonna talk or we gonna duel? Bring it! Reba turned away from Twilight, slapped her hand on her dual disc. Wait! Twilight stopped the Rainbow Duel's disc and announced the duel beginning. The crowd began to murmur and cheer. Twilight looked at her dual disc. I can't risk them doing what I'm just to break up a fight. If I lose and don't make it to the finals. Stop it! Twilight lowered her arm and ran up to Rainbow. This is stupid! You're fighting over... She trailed off as she made eye contact behind Rainbow. In front of the crowd, slowly closed her eyes and shook her head. Commence duel? Applejack wagged her finger. This is the biggest mistake you'll ever make in this game, Rainbow. Reba moved her hand to her dual disc. The only big thing about this is the win I'm gonna pull! The tool reached down and pressed the glowing button on her dual disc. Game start! Applejack life points, 4,000. Rainbow Dash life points, 4,000. Twilight watched the hologram display on Rainbow's dual disc flash and stopped at her portrait. I'll take the first move! Reba drew her opening hand with a flourish and looked down at it. I summon UA Millfielder! Rainbow's monster, a humanoid figure streamlined cybernetic soccer armor, rose to the field, light pulsing along with his equipment. Attack points 1,200. Defense points 1,000. Then, I return Millfielder to my hand to special summon UA Goalkeeper in defense mode! Rainbow's monster jumped up into a vortex that appeared above it. Another monster jumped out. Clad in bulky white and green soccer armor, it knelt down and held out its hands defensively. Attack points 1,000. Defense points 2,800.
How does she do that?
Twilight whispered.
That's how all Rainbow's older athletes work.
Twilight turned her head to see Sweetbelle beside her. She knelt down. Ultra athletes? Sweetbelle nodded and held up her dual disc.
Here, activate observer mode.
She pressed the button on her dual disc touchscreen, and then another. The image of rainbows and Applejack's dueling fields appeared. Twilight looked at her own disc and copied the access to get her own feed. Sweetbelle pointed at a hologram of Rainbow's monster.
Ultra athlete, UA. They target each other to best suit the flow of the duel. They can return a teammate on the field to the hand to summon themselves. And they each have effects that let Rainbow attack or defend in various different ways.
Twilight looked at the duel. So, Rainbow's going to be able to change her monsters on the field every turn and adapt to anything Applejack throws at her?
Yes, the plan.
Rainbow held up a card in her hand. I set one card face down and end my turn. She grinned and leaned forward. First turn, and my field's set to victory. You don't stand a chance against me this time. Yeah, I'll talk a good game. Applejack drew her card and added to her hand. Too bad for you, this is a game of skill, not words. I like to fight, fool's burial! Applejack pressed her fingers on a dual disc display. This list will send any monster from my deck to the graveyard. I'll choose Dandelion, and that happens to trigger its effect. When Dandelion is sent to the graveyard, I summon 2 fluff tokens. 2 holograms of pale white orbs of fluff spring from Applejack's dual disc. Float the rest in front of her. Attack point 0, defense point 0. Sweetbelle nudged Twilight.
Here we go.
Twilight wants to Applejack up to her next card. I deflate the continuous spell, Super Solar Nutrient. This lets me summon one of my fluff tokens. That any plant monster level 4 or less can be called from my deck. I summon Gunfire Blossom at the defense mode. The fluff token exploded and lit up yellow. The particles combined and flew, reforming into a series of vines, twisting around each other and blooming into a rounded yellow and red bulb. Attack points 500, defense points 1400. I had to fight Gunfire Blossom's ability and sacrifice my other fluff token in order to summon a plant monster from my deck. Wind picked up and pulled the fluff tokens into a narrow opening at the tip of the bulb. Gunfire Blossom lit up in a red light. Its flower opened. An array of red petals. It turned and fired a beam of light at the ground. I'll special summon Delilah, Princess of Cherry Blossoms! You know, guys, doing a southern voice for a duel isn't really that far off from a typical 4Kids dub. A flurry of pink petals exploded from the blossom where Gunfire Blossom had cast its light. Rising amid the flurry was a single massive cherry blossom. In its center was a woman's torso clad in ornate blue robes with a pink trim. As she missed rising, she spread her arms out and dispersed the petals swirling around her. Attack points 2,800, defense points 1,200. Elsa held up another spell card. Well, now, for one last little treat, I'll activate the continuous spell, Miracle Fertilizer. This lets me revive a plant monster in my graveyard once they return. I'll use it to fade now to revive Dandelion. A small plant in the shape of a quadrupedal animal appeared on the field, its face leaking up from a mane of dandelion fluff. Attack points 300, defense points 300. You know, I just had a thought, guys. Does Yuki ever get tired? I mean, think about it. We see these duels, and, you know, they happen about 20 minutes each for us as a viewer. But in the game, they probably last for 10, maybe 15 minutes. That is 10, 15 minutes of a person standing there with their arms folded in position in front of them. Now, unless the dual disc has a really good sticking ability to hold those cards in place, that means you gotta stand there for about 15 minutes holding your card like this. That cannot be comfortable! Amazing, Twilight spoke. She noticed another duelist sit to the top of the crown behind Applejack. Applebloom. Twilight looked across the field and saw Scootaloo watching Rainbow dance. Applejack smiled. Delilah gets another 100 attack points for every plant I control. I know you're not that bright, Rainbow, so here's some basic math. 2,800 plus 300 is 3,100. Duelist is higher than goalkeeper's defense. He pointed across the field. So take a guess what comes next. Ta-da! Attack goalkeeper! The Plant Princess held up her hand and sent a storm of cherry blossoms across the field. Reba laughed and held her hand out. Ha! I don't think so. Activate trap! You my penalty box! Four wooden walls in white appeared, and red paint rose around Talila's up to her waist, and a field of electrical blue energy zapped up and rose to create a dome covering her. The chamber lowered to the ground, taking Talila with it. Since you just attacked a UA monster, I get to banish your monster until the end of your next turn. Mabel tapped the side of her head. Strategy beyond attack and beat my monsters. It's a bit tricky for you, huh? Glad to get over that. Twilight flinched at the insult. She looked at Sweetbell. Are they always like this? Sweetbell just nodded. Yeah. You held out for one more round. I'll set 2 cards till it's my turn. Applejack crossed her arms. You'll get one shot at me to make your mark, Rainbow. Make it count. I will. Rainbow drew her card and looked at it. I return UA Goalkeeper to my hand in order to special summon UA Playmaker. Goalkeeper was drawn into a portal above Rainbow, and her new monster leapt out. A figure in silver and black football armor with glowing orange details. Beat its hands on its helmet, kneeled, ready to charge. Attack points 2,600. Defense points 2,000. I don't think so. Activate trap. Polymnosis. My trap will be in my dandelion. That summons the kid. The Playmaker's destroyed. Dandelion burst into more dandifying fluff. It swirled around Playmaker. It groaned to collapse, expressing delight. Since the monster itself left the field, my fertilizer card is destroyed. But since Dandelion is sent to the graveyard again, I summon 2 more fluff tokens. Applejack's tokens reformed into the remains of Dandelion as their spell cards shattered behind them. As always, you fall for the easy trap, Rainbow snorted. I summon UA Milk Eater again, and return it to my hand to summon UA Dreadnought Dunker! A new athlete jumped into the field, wearing sunglasses with an orange and blue-silver basketball uniform and helmet. Red lines lit up on its armor. It stood up and flexed its muscles. Dreadnought Dunker! Put that upstart farmer out to pasture! Attack one of the fluff tokens! A glowing ball of blue light manifested in Dunker's hand, readily bouncing on the ground. The orbic cell rang. Time for some bad news, AJ. When Dreadnought Dunker attacks a defending monster, he pierces it to deal battle damage. Death Left token has no defense, so you're taking it full force! Dreadnought Dunker swung around, flung its ball across the field at lightning speed. Applejack raised her arms to shield herself as it hit a Fluff token and exploded in a flash of light. Applejack life points, 1,500. Think! Applejack! Apple blew around to the field, put her head on Applejack's arm. Applejack jerked her away and stood glaring at Rainbow. Well, you go! Not yet. I returned Dreadnought Dunker to my hand and summoned back my UA Goalkeeper to defend. As a replacement monster kneeled in front of her, Rainbow crossed her hair and crossed her arms. I think I've done enough damage for now. I end my turn. The crowd behind Rainbow began to cheer, a shout of her name eventually rising. About time. Applejack snatched her card from her deck and reached to the buttons on her dual disc. I'll summon Little Fire Blossom to activate its effect. A card ejected from her deck. I'll summon Gigaplant from my deck. The ground in front of Applejack split open. A massively thick vine rose from it. Tentacles were hanging off of it, digging to the ground. A red mouth split open, revealing several rows of teeth as it roared. Attack points 2,400. Defense points 1,200. I now normal summon Gigaplant again, triggering its Gemini ability. Gemini ability? Twilight thought aloud. Sweetbell nodded. Gigaplant can't use its ability normally, but Applejack can summon it a second time on the field to do it. And it's a doozy. Once per turn now, Gigaplant lets me summon any plant monster in my hand or graveyard. Applejack tapped her dual disc screen, and a card slid out of her graveyard. R5, Little Fire Blossom! And now that it's back, I can use its effect a second time. I attribute my Fluff token to summon my deck Triangle Princess of Camillus! A massive red blossom with red leaves sprouted on Applejack's field. A woman in a pink dress, with red-green details like flower petals and mirror for the blossom, crossed her arms. Attack points 2,800. Defense points 2,600. I don't think yet. I have to play the spell, Advance Draw, and tribute my level 8 Tiano to draw 2 more cards. The fire blossom closed as swiftly as it bloomed and withdrew to the ground. As Applejack drew, she looked at her cards and grinned. And you're just what I need. I bet it's Titanium in the graveyard, and Jeremy places the little leads from my hand. Special summon Rosaria, the stealing fallen angel. A column of light expanded out from behind Applejack. 4 wings, 2 red and 2 black, extended from it. Flower petals falling from them. The light receded and revealed a tall humanoid figure in shining white armor. Golden bands over his wrists and ankles. Attack points 2900. Defense points 2400. Applejack held out her hand. I'll defeat Rosaria's special ability. Once per turn, I can negate the effects of all other cards on the field. Rosaria held up her hands and fired rays of light across the field. What? Reba stepped back. Rays of light struck Goalkeeper and the hologram of the UA penalty box card. They sparked and the cards dulled. Now that your little trap is out of the way, Applejack punched her fist into the air at Rainbow. Rosaria, attack Goalkeeper! Rosaria flapped all 4 wings at once, sending a massive windstorm across the field. Goalkeeper groaned and shattered as it braces against the gate. Rainbow growled as Applejack grinned. Now you're all wide open. Gigaplant, direct attack! Gigaplant roared and snapped several vines out of its body and across the field. The vines struck the ground across the rainbow, sending sparks flying. She fell to her knees, gritting her teeth. Rainbow life points. 1600. Think! Twilight saw Scootaloo run out of the crowd out next to Rainbow.
Don't give up, Rainbow!
Scootaloo put her hand on Rainbow's shoulder, but the other girl stood up to step forward, ignoring her. Come on! She snarled. I just get warmed up. Slave here, hon. I'll set 2 cards and end my turn. Now the effect of the UA penalty box ends until I'll return to my field. Applejack idly tapped to her dual disc tooltips. Well, look at here. I got 4 monsters out, including 3 of my best, and you got nothing. Some things never change, huh? Hoots and shouts of encouragement came from the crowd behind her. Shut up! Rainbow put her hand to her deck. I'm not out of this yet. Her supporters grew louder in response. Twilight turned her head back and forth. Glare full of spite and anger were exchanged between the players, as the crowd cheered for their respective sides. Standing next to Applejack, Applejack clutched at her leg, while Scootaloo touched Dax's short to no response. Twilight glanced down at Sweet Belle. She was staring at the ground, her hands balled to fists. Fluttershy's right. Twilight looked at the field, her face pained. This isn't what dueling's supposed to be. I draw! Reba drew her card and looked down at it. She laughed and flipped it over, revealing a spell card. I think this duel just ended. Applejack tensed. Rainbow smirked and reached her hand. I summon UA Billfinger and return it to my hand to summon UA Money Slugger! A slim warrior, streamlined silver and red baseball armor, and a horned helmet appeared on the field. He held out a silver rod in his head. A red laser emerged from it, forming the shape of a baseball bat. Oh, so that's what a laser bat is! Hey, Likara! I finally figured it out! Attack points 2300. Defense points 700. Then I equip my slugger with the equip spell UA Power Jersey! With a flash of light, a suit of white, black, and red armor appeared in the air, and gravitated the lasso to Mighty Slugger. Crests of spikes emerged from his back and shoulders. Sparks of red energy flamed from them. Rainbow held up her dual disc. Now, not only does Mighty Slugger get 1,000 extra attack and defense points, but any damage it deals to your life points, it's doubled. Her eyes narrowed. Oh, and I hope you aren't relying on those 2 set cards to protect you. Because when Mighty Slugger attacks, you can't activate cards or effects. Rainbow frowned and scratched her head. Oh, let's see. She pretended to count her figures. Gigaplant has 2,400. I've got 3,300. And I deal double damage. She faked a guess of surprise. Well, look at that. Looks like I win. Applejack glared at. Well, get on with it alright, y'all egomaniacs. I will. Rainbow laughed and pumped her fist. I've been waiting for this for months. I wanted to be in the finals, but I'll settle for doing it here and now. Stop it! The 2 turned as Twilight ran out to him. How can you talk to each other like that? You're supposed to be friends. As if I'll ever be friends with some cocky little punk like her that doesn't care about nothing but herself. I got plenty of other friends. Ones that aren't redneck hick farmers who think they're better than me. Rainbow growled and drew her hand back over her shoulder, trying to put you in your place for the last time. You ain't Mighty Slugger, end this duel! Attack Giga! Shut up, Rainbow! The crowd fell silent and Rainbow stilled. Twilight gasped and looked at the sound of voice. Rainbow slowly turned her head. Scootaloo? Glaring up at her, Scootaloo clutched her fist at her side and held Rainbow's gaze.
Did you even hear what the hell you're saying? What you sound like? She screamed. I hate seeing you play. You're always like this. She looked around the crowd before going back to Rainbow. You're all like this. This is exactly why I told you I didn't want to sign up. Players like you are the reason this game sucks now. Before Rainbow could respond, Skulu shoved her to the ground. Then turned and ran, pushing her way through the crowd. Reba came to her senses as she vanished from sight. Skulu! She stood and ran after her. Hold up! Applejack's voice stopped her, and she looked over her shoulder. Applejack held her a duel disc. We're in the middle of a duel here. If y'all back now, it's a forfeit. Applejack. Applebloom's voice cut through the air like a blade. Her sister looked down. Let's stop. Please. No more. Applebloom shook her head and walked away. Hi, Applebloom! Applejack reached down her hand, and Applebloom kept walking. Twilight felt a hand on her waist, and she looked to see Sleepybell staring up at her. Now you know why we play alone. Twilight simply nodded, and saw Spike do the same on the other side of her. The sound of bells filled the air. Twilight heard a beeping shortly. Looked at her dual disc. 5. An electrical chime came from the school's PA system. Attention, students! Celestia's voice came over the loudspeakers around the school. It's now 5 o'clock. We will tally the results and announce the finalist standings shortly. Duelists in the middle of the game may finish, but any duels in progress at this moment no longer counts towards official standings. The top 16 round will begin in 1 hour. The voice fell silent. The crowd began to talk amongst themselves and wandered off, leaving Applejack and Rainbow to face each other, the holograms of their monsters standing silently. Applejack looked behind her, but Applebloom was nowhere in sight. She hung her head. Well, go on. You earned this win. Rainbow looked at her evenly for a moment. She reached down to her dual disc. The lights of the disc deactivated, and holograms of her card filled her out and vanished. Without a word, she turned and jogged away. Applejack spared Twilight and Sleepybell a glance before doing the same. Sleepybell withdrew her hands. I'll go find Mary. She waved at Twilight and walked in a separate direction. Alone in the field, Twilight let out a breath. I hate to think what's going to happen if those two are matched again in the finals. Yeah, Spike shook his head. That was something else. Every time from the PA came. Students' finalist standings have been tallied. You all performed admirably, but I'm afraid only the top 16 ranking students can advance. These 16 students, in no particular order of importance, are as follows. Although, I lie. They're going to be listed in importance to the plot. Rarity Bell, Pickamina Pie, Ember Draconia. Here we go. Twilight tensely waited for her name as Celestia kept reading. Rainbow Dash, Sunset Shimmer. Of course she made it. Twilight Sparkle. Yes! Twilight cheered loudly. She scooped Spike up in her arms to hug him. We made it, Spike! Spike barked happily. I knew you could do it! These are your 16 finalists. Duels will begin in 1 hour at 6 o'clock. Your designated opponent has been chosen randomly. AKA, whatever is most important to the plot. Access your duel says server link to find out who they are. Please be sure you locate your opponent and are ready to duel the designated duel field by 6, or you may be disqualified. Sounds easy enough. Twilight deactivated her duel disk and pressed the touchscreen to prompt to access its settings. Okay, server link, here we go. CHS On Crown Tournament. Few finalists match up. Twilight pressed the prompt to wait for the data to load. A holographic display of her and her opponent's portraits popped up into the air. Twilight looked up and paled at it. Spike? Yeah? Twilight knelt down so Spike could see the display. Spike read it and his jaw dropped at the name next to Twilight's. Drakey C has arrived!